listening to XLP Radio. XLP, 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 XLP. Your journey starts here. XRP Radio.
Yo, listen up all you people out there. I like to listen to XRP Radio and do some current talk, yeah. That's right, fire and fire. XRP Radio.
Music from around the world, you will find it here. Amazing sounds from across the globe will flow into your ears. People in the chat box are sure to bring a smile. You should give a listen, you're sure to stay a while. If you wanna have a good time, this is the place to be. So listen to the Tag Show with Tiz and ALC.
You're listening to XRP Radio. Welcome to the drop-in. All are welcome. Just join us at xrpradio.co.uk and you can find, well, us delivering music to your ears. Oh, lovely.
Done to a stranger emotion. He doesn't look too good on you, my darling. We carry on again with foolish play. Never learn how to handle devotion. Love that passes by while you're deciding. Now I'm just dreaming on my own alone. I'll face the darkness. Maybe into stone, rising, got me long ago. I to stone. Her eyes, they caught me long ago. I played the game always the same. She looked down from upon a throne. The future's bright but never known. Disguise the truth, all lies adorn. Dismayed disdain, I cried in vain. I took my chance, now left alone. Medusa, Medusa, oh. Medusa, Medusa, oh. Medusa, Medusa, oh. Medusa, Medusa, oh.
Here on XRP Radio, it's Tag the Drop In. If you all want to join us here on XRP Radio, you are more than welcome to. Just join us at xrpradio.co.uk/chat and ask to join us online. I'll shoot you the link and you can join us live in the visual stream with me. Hi, here I am. Oh, I keep forgetting it's mirrored so you can see XRP in the right order behind me. But I'm going to deliver some tunes to you. If you want to request a tune, come join me. If you want to introduce your own tune, come join me. Track, piece of music, shall we say. If you want some advice on the music industry, you can ask me and I might even have the answer, who knows. But for now, actually I'm not going to play that quite yet. I'm going to play this first.
Crowd and my head in the clouds, and devil is coming, kick your feet on the ground. I'm hungry for stage, you're thirsty for music, but everybody goes like, man, you can do it. I try, but I can hide at the spotlight, still glow in my eyes, yeah. No matter what, whatever they say, I follow those stars anyway. Break me down, it's just impossible to stop me now. Would be a miracle. The city sleeps and I'm still standing. I'm unstoppable, unstoppable. I'm unstoppable, unstoppable. The coin is tossed, I don't mind the cost, and people may say I'm doomed and I'm lost. I got the rhymes for those who still fight, and the songs for those whose dreams have died. Yeah. I got it alright, maybe you see it in my eyes. No matter what, whatever they say, I follow those stars anyway. Break me down, it's just impossible to stop me now. Would be a miracle, call me small. I'm undefeatable, the city sleeps and I'm still standing. I'm unstoppable, unstoppable. I'm unstoppable, unstoppable. I'm unstoppable, unstoppable. I'm unstoppable, unstoppable. Break me down, stop me now. Call me small. Break me down, it's just impossible to stop me now. Would be a miracle, call me small. I'm undefeatable, the city sleeps and I'm still standing. I'm unstoppable, unstoppable. I'm unstoppable, unstoppable. I'm unstoppable, unstoppable. I'm
Unstoppable here on XRP Radio. You're listening to the best and exciting independent music from across the globe. This is the drop-in. The idea of this show is, well, basically an absolute free flow of whatever happens pretty much. It's Car Crash Radio. Anyone is welcome to join me if they do so ask. Yeah. I've got the hiccups.
Ask me for 3 wishes, I wouldn't know what to say. Ask me to envision a life that I want. Would you know the answers if I asked you to sing? When will it be? Ever
Hello, the Zerple. How's everyone doing? You're listening to XRP Radio. It's home and signing independent music from across the globe, and this is tagged. It's the drop-in. It's a bit of a new theme show, hence the quietness these days. Wednesday was never a big day for XRP, but we're trying to bring it back. But the idea is basically unscripted. Anyone can join us on air whenever they want during this show, to a point. And we'll just do stuff, what happens, and things or stuff and stuff. Yeah?
Padre nuestro que estás en los cielos, santificado sea tu nombre. Venga a nosotros tu reino. Hágase tu voluntad así en la tierra como en el cielo.
Total love and devotion, yeah, yeah. 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 I would love to confide, but you're not by my side. A million miles of commotion, be a drop in the ocean. Total love and devotion, yeah, yeah. 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 You tell me that you can see. Will you ever see me? Got your own religion, all that fight and no vision. Total love and devotion, yeah, yeah. Total love and devotion, yeah, yeah. Total love and devotion, yeah, yeah. Total love and devotion. Could you be my guide? Would you love me blind? Yeah, yeah. Got my own decimation, yeah, yeah. Am I at the wrong station? I hear that you can be mean, yeah, yeah. And you make people scream. Bullets flying from towers, yeah, yeah. Jesus charges by the hour, yeah, yeah. Total love and devotion, yeah, yeah. With all that love and devotion, yeah, yeah. Total love and devotion, yeah, yeah. With all that love and devotion, come on now. Devotion, yeah, yeah. With all that love and devotion, come on love and devotion, yeah, yeah. With all that love and devotion, yeah, yeah.
Perdónanos nuestros deudos, así como nosotros perdonamos a nuestros deudores. No nos dejes caer en la tentación, mas líbranos del mal. Amén.
I forgot where my buttons were, but you're listening to XRP. It's not that interesting to watch at the moment because I want people to drop in. The whole point of the drop in is it's a drop in. The link's just gone up in the XRP Radio chat box. So if you want to join me, but you should probably give me a notification because I ain't got my headphones on yet, so I won't listen to you. But there you go, just living life because I can.
In a world full of shadows and pain, I choose to get up without fear. 'Cause I can fight and I won't falter. I'm gonna prove my might. With inner strength, with my decision, there's no limits for me. Like a bird, I fly so high they won't intimidate me. Because I can, just because no wall I can't break down. Because I can, not giving up, I'm gonna dance in the middle of the storm. Sometimes I feel the road gets dark, but I keep moving ahead. Because I can, yes I can, and nothing will quench my desire. I'm gonna take everything I want, my power won't go out with the tide. I won't give up my divine passion like the sun that always shines. Because I can, just because I own my destiny. Because I can, I won't give up, I'm gonna dance in the middle of the storm. They can throw stones, bridges can burn, they may try to stop me. Because I can, just because the future is waiting for me. Because I can, just because I always go my own way. Because I can, there is no end, I'm gonna dance in the middle of the storm. Because I can, yes I can, I'll say it once again. Because I can, yes I can, no matter what they have to say. Because I can, just because I can, I won't give up. Because I can, there is no end, I'm gonna dance in the middle of the storm.
I'm sneezing. Oh, I'm sneezing so bad. So many sneezes. Ugh. Right, and to watch current. Oh, many sneezes. Now I'm hearing back. And to watch. Now I'm hearing myself back. Jesus Christ. If you just want to watch, use that one. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze again. Okay, let's try and get. Oh God, it's just there. There we go. I'm just gonna quickly put on the track because of this.
Keep me warm.
Boom's in with a cat. We got Boom Smack in the his with a cat. Doing his thing. Here we go. You're listening to XRP Radio. That was In Your Power, Blue Scar featuring Amy Britannia, and there is a cat closer to a camera than I have ever seen a cat close to a camera, but Boom Smack is here, so that's okay. Hello, Boom Smack. He can't hear me.
Should I use this mic or should I use the mic on the webcam? I don't know.
Both of them seem to be... Can you hear me? Can you hear my voice?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's okay then. I mean, I can hear you either way. Use both, use neither. Use all, use lubricant, especially if you're going into a tight space. Moving swiftly onwards. How are you doing, mate?
Man, I'm doing good. I have the air conditioner, the cold air going. Feels really good.
You also have friends. I can hear your friends.
Friends? Who's that then?
I don't know. You have friends in the house. I can hear your friends.
There's no one here but the cats.
There's no one there. Oh, do you have it? Do you have it? Oh, you know what? I realise what's happened here. Really quite strange situation where I've got my audio routed in a very strange way. And everyone at the moment can hear a conversation between Catherine's mother and herself, which is interesting. How do I change this? I do that.
Oh, so it's your friends.
Oh yeah, it's Catherine's house as a whole, to be honest. But now I've rectified that, so that's okay, I think. Anyway, moving swiftly onwards again. We can barely hear Booms. I need to turn you up, or turn you on, or turn you up.
Okay, so it's using the webcam mic, so I can probably wonder if I can.
No, I think it was my fault by not pressing the on button. But now I've turned you on. How do you feel? That was an appropriate length of silence after that question.
Right. No, I feel great. Testing 1, 2.
Oh shit! That was wonderful. All right, go on. If you like music, what's your favourite piece of music that we've had on XRP so far? At the moment, actually, not so far. That's a bit intimidating.
Who, me?
Yeah, no, the other person that I'm in a stream with.
Sorry, I was trying to get the mic set up and everything. I didn't realize I would be asked that right away. My favorite piece of music, like the new stuff.
Your track of the moment, your XRP track of the moment is.
Okay, give me like 30 seconds because I have like 4 or 5 that have really been awesome lately.
Well, I mean, pick one. We've got enough time to do 4 or 5, so pick one, and we can do
a
more.
Track, I don't know the name of it, but there's a Good Time Locomotive track that's really groovy.
I'm going to play a different track to the one I opened the show with, and I'm pretty sure it's the one that I opened the show with because it's an absolute banger. But I'm going to play Lines of Symmetry for you now, because that's a close second place, maybe? Just agree with me, Booms, just agree.
Yes.
So for all those that have been watching the stream on our various places, especially you Twitter people, you're now going to have your tracks interrupted by me and Boom Speak. And if you want tracks uninterrupted, go to xrpradio.co.uk and you can hear the radio show as a radio show is meant to be, or you can stay here and listen to me and Booms chat shit at each other, which could be more fun. Who knows? Do you like music, or do you like 2 idiots on a live stream? Sorry, I claimed you're an idiot there. I mean, it was mainly directed at myself, but...
I'm looking for a couple of good stuff. Okay, Head Noise. That's good stuff.
Oh, you gotta love Head Noise. Have you been playing Doing Science, their new one?
I've been playing 2 or 3 different ones, Super Soaker and Doing Science. Glenn Foster has a pretty good new one, I think, out.
Okay. Well, don't get too far ahead. We can. I only have a
just saying.
short-term memory.
Okay, so you can hear me pretty well. I'm going to quit messing with everything.
Oh yeah, I can hear you fine. No problem.
Virtual background.
Oh, that's what does this.
Oh yeah, I was just looking at that because I don't ever use the webcam. The background I have right now is totally surreal.
It's brick wall.
Well, no, I mean the actual real room that I'm in.
It looks like a half-constructed lighting rig.
Here's what it was. About 3 months ago, when I first started hanging out down here, the entire place was the blanket fort. Thousands of blankets on the ceiling.
There we go.
And my cats have brought them all crashing down.
Oh, I see.
But it was properly covered up and very like a treehouse or something. No longer. Oh yeah,
I see.
That looks real.
No, it's all bullshit. I hate those backgrounds that are like, look, I'm in an office.
Yeah.
No.
Hopefully very soon I'll be back in my own condo again. I really miss it.
What, you miss your old condo?
I'm so homesick, dude. I haven't been home since November.
Why did you move to the Scotties?
You don't know?
I just know you moved to the Skies.
Well, yeah, about 3 years ago, I moved to the Skies. I remember the day I moved in, I had a radio show and I couldn't get the internet to work.
Yeah, I remember that.
But no,
I remember there was a lot of hassle around your move. I just never understood why you moved because it seems to have been negative.
The move was wonderful, but there was 2 or 3 things where people's water leaked through my ceiling and shit like that. And then I got bats in my condo, so that freaked me out.
Oh, okay.
So hopefully we fix the bat problem.
How do you fix a bat's problem?
Well,
pellet guns.
You plug all the holes.
Oh, okay. Wait a sec, you flood all the holes?
No, you plug the entryway.
Oh, right. I was going to say, is that why there was water coming through the ceiling?
That was another issue, but like when you move into a condo in a high-rise, your problems are very much different than normal basement living in a house problem. It's very different. Yeah. It's so different.
Yeah, I understand that. I had oh shit, truck's finishing.
It's been mostly good, just the bats. Yeah. Other than that,
you're listening to XRP Radio, home of the Unsigned Independent. It's a tag show, it's a drop in, and Booms has dropped in. The irony so far that I've only had XRP DJs drop in, but it is a Wednesday night, it is a bit quiet. We do know it's a builder, this show. Just like Pipe Dreams. Pipe Dreams is building rather nicely, actually, on that note. Now, getting a nice little crowd in on the regular over there.
Yes, there's 2 or 3 guys who are almost always in there, and then there's 2 or 3 others that are usually in there. But it's neat because you'll have someone tell you, oh, I have to do something. I'm not going to be able to make Pipe Dreams. And I'm like, wow, is that what it's like?
Yeah, I get a bit confused when people do that because it's like I never sat down and sent an email to how do I put it, to like the BBC radio saying, oh sorry, I can't listen to BBC Introducing this week, I can't make it. Like, radio is always on, you're not kind of expected to make it. It's not like a, oh sorry, I missed your birthday party moment. We do this every week on week straight up. So it's quite heartening when you've got someone going, oh sorry, I can't make it, and you're almost sitting there going, oh, are you mad? That's like you saying sorry to, you won't get this reference, mate. Actually, you're quite a UK fan, but it's like them cancelling EastEnders and you saying, oh, sorry, I can't watch it. It just doesn't make sense.
Well, there's what compared to my college radio days and other times when I did radio, the whole chat box element and the engaged element makes it different than just a regular radio show that people are just 100% listening. They're completely spectating, and there's nothing they can do but listen. And then you throw in the chat box and the engaged part, and it's sort of like people when they're there, it's more than just, I don't know, they're there, so you feel their absence when they're not, I guess, more than a regular radio.
I see what you're saying there. That's quite a homely, humble way to have put that. Anyhow, our wonderful ALC has come up with Boomsmack. My head's fucked. It's because I can hear ALC in one ear and Boomsmack in the other ear. It's confusing. Our wonderful Boomsmack has come up with more tracks for us to play. One of them is the new one that made me and Mish Happenings almost burn our intestines out for 3 days straight as we decided to mouthwash their primordial soup hot sauce.
I believe you gargled it.
Yep. It was a bad mistake. Don't do that. Don't ever do what we did. That was science. We were doing science to prove that no one else should ever do that in their life. We're also now doing science with Head Noise because it's the track that kind of came out with the primordial soup hot sauce. Have you seen any of their live videos?
No.
Oh, go and watch their live stuff. Their stage presence is excessively good.
I love a good stage presence.
Oh, I mean the one gig they did in, like, they got a cardboard box and dressed it up like as a microwave, and every time he sung he had to open the front door because he had it as a helmet. Brilliant. Wonderful stage performances.
Is there a way to get where I would hear myself in my headphones? Is that possible?
No.
It's not necessary. I was just wondering.
Not through StreamYard, I don't think.
StreamYard. That's right. I was trying to think of the name of StreamYard the other day, and I couldn't remember it. I thought it was amazing. I just couldn't seem to get the hang of it.
It's a bit of a... You've got to... I have to practice with it a lot before I do a show.
I just recently was talking to the Picasso's dude.
Yeah. I saw you, yeah.
He wants to do a Pipe Dreams where he's on the show.
Yeah.
And I want to do that. I just have to figure out the technological forecast. Because last time we could see him, but I couldn't hear him or something.
The best way to do it is if you have two interfaces or sound cards and you use one interface for StreamYard and one for mix, and you have them bounce off each other. If you don't do it that way and use virtual stuff, it gets very messy, and like at the moment you can hear the music, right?
Yes.
You can't do that on a single sound card. You have to have a double sound card. So at the moment I've got a Focusrite, but I've got a desk with a USB input. A lot of people have done it with their audio interface, but with their computer's built-in sound card. But you can't do it with your standard USB audio card codec. You need a decent inbuilt sound card.
As far as I know, my computer has a really good sound card built in.
You might be able to bunny hop it off that then. But the main thing is to segregate and then have a lead that will run back in from one sound card into another to deliver the same sound. It's a bit of a mess. If I'm in your house, I can set it up easily, but if I'm not there, I can't do the troubleshooting side to make sure. So I can give you advice, but everyone that I have advised through it has ended up figuring it out themselves without my advice, because every single computer is different, and you've got a Windows computer, which makes it even more different because Windows likes to audio manipulate sound cards into one thing. Sorry, we're going live. You're listening to XRP Radio. It's the Tagged. It's the Herb Booms is here. We play Doing Science. CPM's in the chat box. Craig Allen Hecht is also, and Driving Under Insanity. Driving Under Insanity, our newest DJ, soon to be joining the ranks of XRP Radio to proceed the Tag Show on a Saturday.
DUI, hello.
We're very much looking forward to that.
Oh, CPM.
Creative Partners Management. We're looking forward. We almost had a thing going with them, and then they went quiet and they got really busy. But I'd love to have that thing going again. If you're interested. Again, everyone's welcome to join us on air. All you've got to do is ask, and I'll chuck the link in the chat box at xrpradio.co.uk/chat. I don't just put it out all over social media and the internet purely for the fact that then you get idiots join in, and I can't be asked to manage that. So I want people that we actually like to be here. And I quite like Booms. He's all right to chuck bricks at.
What was that?
What?
What just?
Someone say something? Huh?
You like what?
I think you're all right to throw bricks at.
I like the thing your sound makes, or whatever.
What was the Glenn Foster track that you liked?
Man, I need to be more on the ball. Let me look real quick. It is. I'm still singing "Yes, We're Doing Science."
Is it Hammerpool? Is it Different Highway?
In the Green Room is the one I was thinking of, but there are several. Me and Maggie in the green.
We'll do In the Green Room.
I mean, you could do whichever.
No, we're doing In the Green Room. You said In the Green Room. We'll do In the Green Room. I am directive by my listeners, my friend.
Elmhurst, and we have.
Did you figure that out about the audio thing?
Yes. Yeah, it's real good. Shout out to all our Twitter listeners. We got such a weird following suddenly on Twitter. Watching the live, so hello Twitter people.
Does anyone call it X? I still call it Twitter.
I've noticed, like, so I try and keep on top of like current affairs and news and whatever. And in news, I've realised just recently they've stopped saying on X, formerly Twitter, and they now just say on the X platform. So I think it's slowly getting there. The problem is they still run on the Twitter domain, so it's going to be they haven't got X.com.
Right.
And I doubt they'll ever buy X.com.
Yeah, it would be nice to be squatting on that, I guess.
They might get. Actually, I think they have got it now. I've just looked. I wonder how much that cost them. How much did X.com sell for? Holy shit!
A lot.
Well, it originally sold back. The last related transaction was back in 2014 for $6.8 million.
Wow.
So 10 years later, we're probably... Do you want to know the funniest thing about X.com? X.com used to be owned by Elon Musk. And he sold it to PayPal, and he bought it back off them.
Wow. I bet he lost.
So he sold it to PayPal for 6 point whatever million. And he bought it back, and it's hard to find how much he bought it back for. The reports are it was over $11 million.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, there's a domain squatter on XRP.com that wants $3,000 for it. In the green room, the Glenn Foster group here on XRP Radio. I'm here, chilling in the drop-in with Booms. In his, you've got the aura of like a Balkan tent going on over there. I feel like you're Genghis Khan about to go into battle.
You should have seen my umbrella.
Why have you got an upside down umbrella? Okay, that's just fucked my head over. I don't want to ask why.
It was here when I moved in, so.
So you just left it up. There's so many. I can't. I'm not delving into it. I'm not biting. I'm not biting what's happened here. If any of you have questions about the upside down umbrella that was there since he moved in, so he just left it there, you ask the questions. I'll put it to him. I'm not biting that grenade. It sounds like it's about to explode. Why? What the?
Have you ever
I
noticed
have to work with these people. Sorry. Have I ever noticed what?
The Southern American will say umbrella instead of umbrella. In the same way they say insurance instead of insurance. It's like a Southern American thing.
Honestly, weirdly for British people, the American accent pretty much across the whole of America is either American or redneck. That's all we actually hear.
Yeah. It's funny too because in certain ways the redneck accent and the British accent will have similar diphthongs or similar it's weird. It's really weird.
If you go like outside of the eloquent speaking like British talk that you hear like Stewie on Family Guy speaks, that's
what my father thinks. That's how my dad thinks you all speak. By the way. He thinks everyone who speaks Queen's English in the whole country.
Now Yorkshire, Wales, and Scottish, it's basically redneck, just with a different twang.
Yeah.
But on the plus side, I need to press some buttons now and figure this out. If I press that, and then I press that... Craig's here!
Hi, everybody!
Hey, how's it going, man?
Hey,
Craig
man,
with
I'm
the
all
musical
right.
background.
Yeah, I never get out of the studio. I live here.
Yeah.
The weird thing is in actual fact, Craig just had a moan in the chat box. So, can't be asked to go to the studio and turn everything on.
Well,
God!
Let me tell you something. My wife said to me, you better go downstairs and plug in all your cords and be with your buddies because you're going to have fun. And I said, I don't want to have fun. And she's I stopped my foot and everything. I don't want to have fun. I want to sit back here in the game room and just listen to the show. She goes, you go downstairs and you plug in all your cords and you go be on the video. And I go, fine. So here I is. See, I get on and Booms leaves. See how that goes? Oh, Craig's here. I gotta go. Man. See how it is? I come in, I bust up the party.
He's probably like me, just I can't leave. It's like, did we promise Craig would do anything? Shit.
Hey, I can always go back to what I was doing, man. I was good,
No, it's all good. It's all good. How's things anyway? I hear there's yet again, even though you've had possibly the longest holiday in the history of holidays.
Never ends, my friend.
But that's the joys of retirement. I hope to be there one day.
And you should.
I don't have a cool
Fingers
guitar
crossed.
to put in the background. That's all I have.
But you got that drum kit thing, man.
I know. I mean, like, Drum kit's like any drum kit is like 4 guitars in equivalency, in my opinion.
I have a Hoover in the background.
The Hoover could be a better musical instrument.
I can't compete with that, man. No way. You know.
So re-rolling.
Right. Let's back that
You're
up.
off holiday. I hear that you have musical exploits to infuse onto the independent stream of everything. That was a shit sentence, I know, I'm sorry.
I certainly do. This Friday, I have my
This
new
Friday?
album coming up. This Friday is coming out. Guitar Saber, my new album, my new Craig Allen Hecht album, which actually, I gotta tell Booms, he actually kind of inadvertently titled it, because when we were doing the graphics and stuff for Cluckzilla, one of the pictures I had was me holding the guitar up over my head, and Booms called that Guitar Saber. And I go, that's really cool. I could do something with that. So there you go. Booms, you actually titled my album. So thank you.
Yeah, about 1% of the random wordplay things I drop ends up being awesome, and the rest are just nonsense.
Hey man, at least you got something.
Every once in a while, I'm like, oh, the seed lands on
Fertile ground?
Yeah, fertile ground.
Yeah.
Not concrete.
Yeah, so it's Guitar Saber. It's stuff you've all heard before, basically, but it's remixed. It does have the brand new track. Hellbound Blues is on there. It's track 10 out of the 10. Starts out with Penguins Are Better Than Seagulls, but it's all remixed, more punchier version of everything. So that will be dropping on Friday on primarily... Yes, go ahead.
I was just saying, primarily XRP, Bandcamp, and possibly other platforms.
And probably...
just to finish it.
And one of your favorite places, Reverb Nation, it'll be there. But it's going to be all the usual digital, stores, blah, blah, blah. All that stuff.
Honestly, I slate Reverb Nation, but as it goes, if you're going to compare them to streaming sites, Reverb Nation is definitely better than Spotify and such.
Yep.
But a long ongoing battle between me and Reverb Nation.
Yeah, me as well.
Mixing's not so good.
I was recently drawn back into the SoundCloud website because somebody wanted me to give them my SoundCloud link, and I was like, God, I haven't used that in 3 years.
Oh, dude, I haven't used
You said
SoundCloud
important
like
stuff, and it got
forever.
ruined by cat butt.
Yeah, it was cat butt. I'll call my next album that. Cat butt.
So what I was going to say, Guitar Saber, although inadvertently named by Boom, shall we say, it gives me a feeling that maybe the tracks selected on it may be more of your guitar-oriented tracks.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It does have the wonderful Bibbidi Bobbidi Boom is on there. It's got what else? In the Shade Garden is on there. Quite a few instrumental things. So yeah, I guess you're correct to assume that.
So is it now? I've got to grasp with a few of the titles here. Are we saying this is an album? Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Album collection of tracks that have since been released yet not been put on a previous album or EP.
You are exactly right. As a matter of fact, I have the track list right here. It goes Penguins Are Better Than Seagulls, The Aquarian, Sunshine Fury Studio Version, In the Shade Garden, Marceline, Bippity Boppity Boom, Love Knows No Distance, Happy Trash Man, Time Be Damned, and Hellbound Blues. So there you go. It's quite a mix.
That is a mix. That is a mix, but also like I'm like every time you read out each track, my mind instantly went to the how do I put it? The show-offy guitar pieces on each track, and I was just like, that seems right.
Yeah, well, I could have called it the show-offy guitar album, I suppose, but that's kind of long-winded,
What you need to do is you need to get a graphics guy to make your guitar look like it's an actual lightsaber.
Right, Boom. You have literally just lightsabered the pair of us, both being graphics guys. We've just been Darth Mauled in half there.
Well, funny you mentioned that. I sent off a message to you guys. Now, you've been busy and whatnot, but I was trying to come up with a new logo for Icebox Studio.
You know what? You sent that, and I saw Boom's it, then I saw it, and I had no the moment that I saw it, I was not in the place to be replaying it. And then honestly, every single day since then, like I'm looking at that and thinking, Craig just must feel so ignored at the moment.
Nah. Actually,
Craig, can you do this for me? No reply. I've got neither me or Booms have even replied to this day,
guys-
and he sent it
guys
about a
don't-
week ago.
You guys
Make a
don't love
gif
me.
of
I don't care.
tumbleweeds. A gif of tumbleweeds rolling across the.
What made me
reply.
feel bad? Honestly, what made me feel bad is afterwards, like, it was probably 4 or 5 days after, I think it was yesterday, in fact, I went on Facebook and I saw Craig pop up in it. Oh, it's Icebox Studios. And I was like, yeah, me and Boom should have probably done that, really.
Well, I made my own. So there.
It looks all right. thought
I
it
don't
looked-
need no graphic
But
design.
I
people.
But I mean the actual, like when Obi-Wan is holding a lightsaber and it
Yeah.
looks like what he's actually holding is like a plastic tube and they put the light in there and everything.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yep.
what I'm saying is have a guitar, but give it that glow to where it totally looks like whoop whoop. And then get
Yeah.
an effects box that you can make that sound, and then you'll have the whole.
I'll just sample it.
Like the reason
Yeah.
I didn't do Chewbacca at a con was I was like, everyone's like, you should do Chewbacca, and I'm like, it's too bloody hot in that costume.
Yeah.
But I can't do the voice properly. And to me, you shouldn't cosplay, Chewbacca if you can't do the fucking Wookiee
Yeah.
sound. So if
Agreed.
you're going to call it Guitar Saber, then you need to learn how to make that.
Do you know how the sound was actually made for the lightsabers?
No.
No,
It
it's
was-
an excellent sound. It's got to be the greatest sound.
It's
effect
wicked.
of all
It
time.
was all it was. It was an old tube, I believe, from a TV or something like something odd that had a tube in it. I forget something like I weirdly want to say like a air conditioner or something. Something had a tube in it anyway.
Right.
And they got one of those. Do you know those long ass pencil mics?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that they
those
used to
big,
have
those
back in the
bullet
day.
mic- yeah.
Yeah, big directive mics that
Yeah,
they like.
shotgun
They
mic. Shotgun
they
mic.
used to. A lot of news reporters used to use them, and they had the big thing because they only got their voice.
Right.
Yeah, and he's got one of them, and the tube's just on, just humming away, just going ooh, and he's just got the microphone around it and just going whom, whom, whom. And there's a video of him doing it because he performs
Excellent.
the lightsaber battle for both parties. So he's standing there with a
Wow.
tube, and he's got the video playing next to him. I think this is only for the original 3, to be fair. And he's
Yeah.
got the lightsaber, and he's watching the video, and he's going whom, 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 as the video is going.
Okay, but what's he do when they touch? Because that's even cooler sound when the two lightsabers
Yeah.
will touch.
Oh, I honestly can't tell you about that. I only know the initial whomp, whomp, whomp.
My only factoid about that is I know that the lightsaber itself was an old like flash camera apparatus.
Yeah, it was the old the old fluorescent tubings, and in the
Yeah,
very very first lightsaber battles they didn't use the fluorescent tubings full time, because in the initial lightsaber they couldn't touch blades because they'd just go have you ever dropped a fluorescent tube on the floor?
Yeah.
They just go
Right.
into
I've thrown them in
dust.
the dumpster and they're making excellent sound.
Yeah, they just turn into dust instantly, so they couldn't do that. So yeah, they ended up being basically long green screen rods
Yeah.
for a while that they're projected. And the weird thing is they didn't just project stuff onto it. They actually, going back to the fluorescent tubes, they highlighted and reglowed fluorescent tubes and then projected them onto the lightsabers, which is fun. I hasten to say this is a lot of stuff from definitely the very first movie, but probably not after the first 3 movies.
Right.
There's a great documentary on Disney Plus, to be fair, called Light and Sound, Star Wars Light and Sound, or something like that, that goes all through it. And I'm a big Star Wars nerd, and I know XRP Radio isn't a Star Wars website, so I'll shut up now. But it's cool for sound. It's a cool little sound exploration, isn't it?
Well, if I can drop one thing quick about that before we get off Star Wars, I was on Batuu for May the 4th be with you. May 4th, I was there in Star Wars land. It was, dude, it was fantastic. Connie and I were both there. We were just kind of watching the cosplayers go by. You know, and I've never seen such a conglomeration of lightsabers in one place. Right underneath the Millennium Falcon. You know, everybody's got their sabers up, And
You could
Booms,
pull out
you
your
were talking
guitar
about.
saber and shame them all.
I know, man. But you were talking about Chewy. I mean, that poor guy is wearing that suit. It's 99 degrees that day, right?
Oh, yeah, in
I
Florida
don't
as well.
know,
Oh,
man.
jeez.
That's why I won't do it. Everyone is like, you could dress up as the Predator. You could dress up as Chewbacca. You could dress. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, I would die.
It was horrible, man. It was horrible hot. But
I mean,
it was really cool to be there.
If we're being honest, Booms, like you're sort. I hate to say this, and you've probably heard it a million times, but realistically, any Halloween or any costume party that you need to go on, just chuck on some NBA jersey and you sound. You're cool. Everyone understands it.
Yep.
You could almost get away with blackface.
I wouldn't get overly hot.
Yeah, you got the shorts on, the t-shirt.
Yeah,
I like the way
that's
everyone
short.
glossed over what I said. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. I
Very good.
apologize. I apologize for that.
No, he could be the world's tallest Jawa. That'd work.
Right?
Anyways,
Why don't Chewbacca do a Jawa, which is
Yeah, man.
another
Why
hot.
not?
You know what? I would rate you if you started doing do a Jawa or an Ewok or something. The world's
That'd be
tallest
great.
Ewok. You'd absolutely smash that. You're also in the same situation of being in a stupidly hot costume, mind, but
Exactly.
the hilarity would be worth it. You've checkpointed that.
Unfortunately, all the good costume ideas I can come up with for tall people all involve some furry, hot, bloody, just murderously hot. Like, no, like I can't. Basketball is the only one I've ever heard, obviously, but that's not really a convention, like a science con thing.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You'll be signed as if you just do Michael Jordan, then just say Space Jam cosplay and you're signed.
Oh,
Yeah, there
I
you
see.
go.
Yeah, sorted. Sweet. I have solved all tall people's Halloween costume issues or
job,
cosplay issues.
Yep.
Um,
Cross that off the list.
As you're here, I don't know whether we've got the newest mixes or you've remixed things a bit better, but should we
You
have
don't.
something off this potential Guitar Saber album? Well, not potentially, it is dropping on Friday.
It is the thing. It is the thing. Friday.
So let's hear. This is the first time I think I've ever been able to say this on XRP, but let's hear a worse version of a song that's going to be on that.
Perfect.
Do you have any preference, sir? As the maker of the music, that is obviously directed at Craig.
Yeah, man. Do bibbity bobbity boom.
Good choice.
Yeah.
How many
wanted
mixes of
something
this have
good.
you done?
You wanted some guitar acrobatics. There you go.
Do you know the only problem with Bippity Boppity Boom?
Yes.
I don't know how to spell any of the words in it.
Bippity.
Bippity.
PPITY.
There it is. I've got it.
Atta boy.
For some reason, I was going for Bibbidi.
Oh, with
I'm
D's?
sorry. Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
it's okay.
Bibbidi. Yeah, B's and D's. Anyway,
Yeah. Cool.
here we go.
Oh, man. Hey, Booms, as long as I've got you, man, I got to tell you something. I've been listening to more and more Candy Apple Black on XRP, and I am more and more amazed by the different styles you guys cover and the different genres you. I didn't know. I thought you were like more of like a
It's so
funk
different.
rap deal. You're all over the place, man.
All over the place. Well, the funk rap thing happened with Elements of Style. I had never been in a rap hip hop. I had never been in a hip hop band.
Yeah.
I'd always done rock and roll or metal or goth or whatever.
Yeah.
So I did years of the hip hop. But Candy Apple Black is in 20-something years. I've been doing it for like 25 years, but it's changed and it's evolved. And some of it is just purely chill. Some of it is like go to sleep music. Some of it is
Yeah.
driving, kind of a traveling music.
Right.
But it's most of it seems to be. I hear people tell me it's cinematic, like it could go
Oh, yeah.
with movies or visual. Or something.
Well, it kind of resonates with me because it's kind of like what I do, you know, because I kind of change genres at the drop of a hat.
Oh yeah,
You know,
and
you
it
guys
depends
kinda-
on who you collab with. Like depending on who you collab
Yeah.
with, that's going to make the song different too,
Right.
or your
Yep.
mood, the mood that you're in. But Cab is all over the place. Yeah,
Yeah. It's great stuff, man. I just want to let you know it's amazing.
thank you.
You bet. Not a problem.
All right, Booms, how's your free time going for you at the moment?
Well, it's about to I don't know what this means, but my life is about to go back to what it was, even though there's a new normal. But like I said, I've been out of my condo and out of my studio since November, and I'm very soon I'm going to be back in there. So who knows?
All I was saying is, DUI's after his, DUI's joining us on XRP. He's after a header graphic. If you want to work with him.
Picture or video or what? Yeah.
Well, I think he's on about Facebook banner, so.
Oh yeah. Those are easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be really cool. I'm looking forward to see what Jason comes up with.
I'm excited. I'm interested where he takes it.
Right.
I'm very interested. I have a feeling that there may be a bit of an emphasis on collaboration and networking.
Wasn't
He
there
is a big
one
collab
of the,
guy.
you know how the Cluck, it got away from this, but the Cluckzilla posters were aimed at Star Wars, a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
Is
Yeah,
there
for
one?
sure.
Is there one that we did that had a actual saber as far as the guitar being?
Yeah.
Like
Was it the second one?
Yeah.
It was
'cause
early on.
I know you can't use their backgrounds and you can't use a lot of their copywritten stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to think of a way that you could use it where it's not.
I'm sure, light particle-based swords have been used in so many different things. I don't think there's going to be a copyright issue there. And the word saber is not copyright, so there's no issue.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you were to somehow make it look, I don't know, sabery.
Saber-ish.
I mean, if you take a look at a lot of the... obviously this track's about to finish, so I can't finish that sentence. One of the things that I've always loved about that it feels like you almost played a wrong note at the end and you resolve it. You do that, done.
I did.
Done.
That's jazz.
Are you telling me that you may not have intended to play that specific note at that time?
Every note that I do, my friend, is totally researched and put in with a fine-tooth comb. I never... Are you accusing me of just picking the guitar up and whatever happens? How dare you? I am meticulous in my solos. You believe that, right?
The more that you ask me if I believe it, the less I do, unfortunately. But this is life.
You're a wise man.
Bippity boppity boom, Craig Allen Hector. That's going to be forthcoming in Friday's release of Guitar Saber.
Guitar Saber.
Which will be out on all the regulars and some more irregular places.
Yep.
Which also means we're probably going to play a few of them tracks on Saturday's new submission show as well.
Yep.
And we should probably do a thing maybe a week after that. Maybe on the drop-in session. Maybe
I'll be around, man.
Cool,
I have the last trip to Disney comes up first 2 weeks of August, and then you're stuck with me. I am home.
This guy. How many times have you been to Disney? How many? Actually, I don't know what's going to be more impressive. How many times or how long you've been at Disney?
I don't know. The one time was a month. That's when I met up with Kat. That was February.
Oh, yeah?
That was 30 days.
30 days. Did you spend the full 30 days in Disney minus the traveling?
There's so much other crap to do down there, man. I was doing all kinds of touristy stuff. I mean, Florida's got everything going on down there. It's craziness, But I can't do the heat and I can't do the humidity because I'm a boy from the north. I am not meant for that type of weather.
Florida's got a lot of heat and humidity.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I know I could never go there. It gets to summertime in Scotland and I sweat. So that's saying something.
That's saying a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. If I went on a hike through Antarctica, I would be sweating. I would be the only one on the team that is pissing with sweat, and that's guaranteed. I have this weird thing, right? I can go out all day, but I need good airflow, so I can be out all day in the sun, not too bad. As soon as I walk in through my front door, even though it might be cooler in my house, because there's no airflow, I just start sweating. just start sweating my ass off because I can't feel the air on my face.
Right. Yeah, I'm the same way, man. I'm a prolific sweater. You know,
Yeah.
like I tell people, if I fart, I break a sweat. I mean, that's pretty bad. You know, it's not too much effort.
I mean, I probably need. It depends on the fart for me, to be honest. You know, sometimes not. Might need to gain a few years till I'm perpetually fart sweating. but,
It's
you know.
coming.
You know what? I felt a small amount of fear in my heart when you said that. It's coming. I was like, "Bleh." You know, when your heart drops when you've like, oh shit, I didn't mean to do that wrong, but I've done it. That feeling. That just happened when Craig said that. It's coming.
It's the golden years, baby. You're gonna love it. I'm telling you.
I'm almost at that point where you go where you go to the toilet just to pee, but you've got to just quickly check your butt just in case.
Yeah. That's one of those old man sayings. You know, after you turn about 60 or so, like number 2 is like never trust a fart.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what you're gonna get. You know, how the conversation get to this?
You
I
said
don't know.
humidity, and then he started talking about sweating, and that turned to farting.
Turned to
And
farting, and so now we're just.
Yeah,
on
I tell you
bodily
what,
function.
right? This is one thing that I've realised that Booms is exquisite at doing, which is really weird considering he once asked me what his email address was. But you have this weird ability, like, considering, you know, don't do a drugs, kids, and all of those topics, but you have an insanely good short-term memory. You've just got a shit mid-term memory.
I have the
But, like-
same long-term and short-term and no midterm.
Your short-term memory, you're just like, yeah, you know, you're talking about going there, and then you went to sweat, and then who does that? That's amazing.
Well,
I had no idea until you told me what happened. What
I
happened
was
to be
really
honest.
listening and wondering how far it would go and how bodily functional the whole conversation was going to get. It was fascinating.
And now on to no, I'm not going to
But
finish that.
this has nothing to do with farting, but what was the song that was on XRP and maybe still is? Because you guys are talking about solos and exquisite solos, and it
Right.
reminded me of a song where this guy actually called for a solo, and there wasn't one. There was a song where this guy was like, "Hey, solo, guitar solo," and there was
Oh,
nothing.
Oh yeah.
That was
oh
hilarious.
shit!
That shit was hilarious. What
I
was
know
that?
exactly what you're
Yeah.
talking about, and I can't think of it now.
It was fucking hilarious. Yeah, guitar solo, and it was nothing. And that was like,
Oh shit! I know what it is, and
oh, is it what I think it is then? Because
I
why
think
it
so. Yeah.
disappeared. That's why
It had a
I
reason
was
for
afraid that's
disappearing.
what it was. I was afraid that's what it was actually. As I was asking, like, maybe there's a reason. Maybe there's a reason we don't listen to that anymore.
Yeah, it was that reason as well. It was the
That is
worst
such
reason.
a shame. That's such a shame
Yeah.
because that was such. 50%
You
of
know
that
what?
was really awesome.
There's a lot of bands that have been unfortunately displaced by one member that had a lot of
Yeah.
good stuff. Um,
Yeah.
Did the
There
other
was a-
half, the good half, ever do anything else? The part that was good.
But with the part that was left.
Yeah.
I'm somewhat dubious to give too much away considering what we've just said, but obviously Rob Lindsay, aka Garage of Dreams, was in the band that we are talking about.
I never knew their names. I just knew it was. I liked the music. That's all I knew. So
Yeah. Sauerkraut and the Xenophobe, Spike Direction Effect, they're all of the same group of people. These so hard to talk about this shit, man. You know what? This is a shout out to all musicians out there that are listening. Yeah, don't do anything shit. That's it. Don't do really shitty, horrible things because you ruin everyone around you. Okay.
we used to
Cool.
say don't do a drug, but now it's turned
Right.
into don't do a shitty thing.
Don't do a shitty thing. You know
Do
what?
a shitty thing.
I know more functional heroin addicts than I do people who have done things along the bad thing line. I know people who dress up, they're CEOs of companies, they're suited and booted from head to toe every single day, and they get home, they take off their suit, and they've got a full body sleeve tattoo underneath. You know, they like they can go to work, they can do their shit, they can afford their habit, and they come home and they've got a wife and kids and everything's cool, and you know, good for you if you can do that. You know, each to their own vices, and if you can control your vice, well done. That's a good thing. Craig's voice is going to fucking Florida, and he ain't caught that yet. And he's what, 65?
Yeah.
I can't say who it is, but there was a musician that I
67.
worked
Fuck.
with, a musician I worked with for years who was on the H, and I never knew it. In 4 or 5 years in the band, he was on the H all the time, and everyone in the band knew it, and I never did. He was the most functional addict I've ever known, and he was a.
Yeah.
This guy's a pretty big. He has a pretty big job with the responsibilities. He was holding it down in the band. He was never missing practice, and yet he was completely.
Look, I mean, if we're doing this talk, the reason why drugs are regulated is because certain people should not take drugs. Certain people should not drink. Certain people shouldn't drink coffee. Certain people should not eat cheese, even. But certain people should not. Yeah, certain people should very much not smoke weed or do drugs because it sends them psychotic. That is a fact, and that's realistically, aside from all of the conspiracies and whatever, that's the reason why certain drugs have not just been let out onto the world as alcohol is. Alcohol, luckily for the people that consume alcohol, was consumed for thousands of years before, so we kind of know what it does to people.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, otherwise, you know, this is the unfortunate thing. Like, I know many very well-functioning cannabis users, and I would also turn around and go, you should never, ever stop smoking weed because you're going to be a liability if you stop. However, going back to my teaching life, I've seen... 13-year-old kids smoking hybrid skunk weed, and they lose their shit because their brain ain't developed. They're smoking chemicalized substances that have been absolutely fucked up, and they lose their minds. And then from that point on, every single time that they smoke weed, they get more and more psychotic. That's a fact.
The rules
it's
are
stupid.
For a developing mind, the rules are totally different. Like eat your vegetables and don't do any of that stuff and develop. But I don't. I think cigarettes and alcohol are way worse than cannabis. I
mean, and as a side thing, you know, like that people develop at different rates as well. You know, I have seen. I didn't
touch anything till I was in my 20s and 30s. I didn't touch anything, and I've hardly touched anything now. But
see, it's weird. Like I see, especially in the lower and low middle class areas, like. It's weird in the UK. It's a little bit like, what, you don't smoke weed? What?
Right.
You know, you've never sniffed coke? What? And it's weird because when I was young, it was like,
you're a drummer and you don't drink?
Yeah,
I heard that a lot. You're a drummer, you're not an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Man, I can relate to all that.
I've got a few pals that like they drink and that, but they're like they'll teetotal themselves the day before and the day of a show, and then they get off stage and it's the end of the day for them. You know what I mean? But that's someone that can manage their habit and manage their voice. That, you know, to be able to wake up in the morning as a cannabis user and go, you know what, I'm gonna do some shit today, and then I'm not gonna smoke until 5 o'clock and all the shit's done. That's someone who can manage their shit. And then you see people that wake up first thing in the morning, they smoke, and that's their day done. And that's okay if it's your Saturday or Sunday, but, you know.
Timing is
it's a weird thing to be speaking about this, because drugs are quite prevalent in the creative world, in fairness.
They sure are.
Do you remember
what was it like before you...
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, before you say that, just staying on topic, Craig, as what is a... teetotal in effect musician that has worked with a lot of different musicians and bands. How's it like? Because just when I said, there's a lot of drugs involved in the creative route, you were like, there sure is. So I presume you've been accustomed to that. So what's it like being the clean guy in potentially, and not forcing you to throw shade on any friends, but potentially a band full of druggies or drinkers?
No, it's cool. what the thing that really affected me is like if you're playing with somebody else, you know, who needs to be stoned or needs to be altered to play, the main problem is to themselves they sound really good, but in the real world they sound like shit because they got no sense of timing. They're slurring everything, you know. But to them, it's like, oh fuck, this is amazing, you know. And you're like, dude, you suck, you know.
So,
but to them, it's great, you know.
As an outward onlooker, are you kind of saying that those musicians that are users, in your eyes, are actually better before their substance usage, but they feel they're better after their substance usage because they've got that relaxed feel?
Exactly, but because you need, if you're going to be at the top of your game instrument-wise, you need to have that clear connection from your brain to your fingers, you know. You put some shit in there, all of a sudden you're going to start delaying that or changing it somehow. And it's just not the same line of communication, you know, from your head to your body. You know,
On that note,
it really happens. You know?
Have you ever experienced someone that like it's the other way around a little bit? Not like they need. I don't like that saying because, you know, when I was in a band, I was a bit like that. It wasn't I need to smoke a spliff or I need a drink to get on stage. It was more like and it wasn't I'm gonna get pissed then get on stage. It was more like I'm gonna have a couple of beers, get a little bit loose, and the crowd will enjoy me a little bit more, you know what I mean?
Yep. Oh yeah, I've known all kinds of guys that needed a couple just to go on stage, you know, like you said, just to relax or be loose. Yeah, I mean, not trying to, you know, obliterate themselves or anything, but just to go up there and be comfortable doing it. You know, sure, I know a lot of guys like that. You know, that's fine, you know. But, you know, the guys who actually go out to just get themselves polluted, obviously it doesn't work, you know.
I learned very early.
It's so
in my
funny,
drumming
people will
career
ask
that
me.
If I'm drunk, I play like crap.
If you're drunk,
see?
I'm sloppy, I'm too
Yeah.
fast, and I think I'm killing it. I think I'm all in the zone, and I'm totally not. And I'm like, let me just play louder.
Right
I'm
on.
so in the zone. Let me... No, you're.
I think
fast.
alcohol naturally suppresses your entire system, so your timing's naturally going to be absolutely shot. There's a weird one, like there's not many, like I have tried to play music with people that have taken things like cocaine and MDMA and stuff like that, and it's like, you can't, you just can't do that.
No.
The one exception to the world that I would say, and it's not, you couldn't play on stage if someone was completely high off their face on cannabis. However, if you're in the rehearsal room and you're making a new track, you will get some of the best creativity. It won't be on point, it won't be the perfect notes, it won't be perfectly on time, but you will get some of the best riff formats and construction, especially if you're gonna delve on a solo or a prog side or something rhythmic or funky or something like that. Not so much in a pop tune, but definitely as a band of people jamming whilst I mean, I've been sober whilst other people have been high around me, and I'm like, I kind of feel like I need to get high now because they're coming up with stuff that I'm just not even thinking of.
No, I mean, this is kind of like my age is showing here, but like the Beatles, you know, they use psychedelics quite a bit to open up their creativity, you know, and hey, it worked for them, right? So
the Beatles are you know what? There's a lot of bands out there that have a similar thing. The Beatles, for me, unfortunately, like, don't get me wrong, it's a big argument. Me and Adrian Drew from Investigate almost fell out over it because he loves the Beatles, absolutely loves them, and I was like, but they were literally the world's first boy band. They didn't choose to wear those suits. Their label told them to wear those suits. A lot of the songs, even though they're like, we wrote all the songs, look at the cliff notes on them. They wrote some of the song, but the song that we were delivered at the end was, I'm sorry, very rarely written fully by members of the Beatles. And there was this kind of
like that.
Yeah, and there was this kind of like hippie aspect of them that was but look at the people that were there, minus John Lennon. None of them are taking acid and writing a song. Sorry, that's bullshit. It ain't happening. like Craig, I know you're a teetotaler in that. I've experienced certain things in my life. You ain't writing a track after dropping psychedelics. I am sorry. You may think you've written a track, The record producers may have given you acid, left you in a room, and came back the day after and go, look at what you've written. But there is no fucking way the Beatles dropped acid and writ a track. Sorry, no. No chance in hell.
That's fine, man.
So there's a lot of stuff with the Beatles that unfortunately I feel personally started what was the current mainstream music machine, where they could take people and manufacture them into a product to sell. So whilst I understand the Beatles broke so many barriers and boundaries in what they did, a lot of that felt to me very, very manufactured and constructed. Oh, look, there's a 4-piece band of band people on stage. Oh, look how novel this is. And, you know, they're moderately young and whatever. And they found something that could then be marketed. And look at every single other band that studio took on afterwards, and look at how they run. And you see the same format just repeated. They got onto a good thing and they just rinse, wash, repeated it so much. I can't displace people's love like Adrian G's love for the Beatles and what they did and what they changed in music. However, what is in the biographies and what you read from John Lennon's own personal biography and stuff, and then you look at all the people that wrote his fucking biography, it don't add up. Nothing adds up there, and it annoys me that these super bands are kind of formed from, like, Second Cities do everything themselves. They should be a fucking super band.
Oh yeah.
You know,
sure, agreed.
The
Well, the big
Beatles.
question is, though.
Yeah.
The big question is, how do you feel about the Monkees? There was
Hey, we're the Monkees. You know what?
damn right, genius boy.
The only reason. No, there's the big difference with the Monkees, straight up, is the fact that they were. It's kind of like. Did you guys hear Crazy Frog and that hit #1 in the charts? You know, that stupid animation. So everyone knows about
it's
that.
the stupid stuff, right?
Crazy Frog went out, and everybody knew. You know, the biggest sales of Crazy Frog was on ringtone on phones, to download the ringtone, to have it as your ringtone.
Right.
Remember back in the day where you used to watch like MTV, and in between the tracks it would be like, type in this number and text this to get the ringtone to your phone.
Right.
But back then, because ringtones were music, it featured in the music charts. It was a musical download, so it was all constructed in a fake way. You know, everyone knew Crazy Frog was fake. It was constructed. It's all electronic. It was designed in that manner. Whereas the Beatles was given to us under the pretense of, this is a homely band that creates all their music and, decided on their own portrayal. Right. And that's not what it was. It was never that from day one. You got to remember, in the first things, and they even say this in their biographies, the four of them weren't together as a band to start with. It was the label that started grabbing them. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Exactly.
So,
it's so funny you're talking about, people. It's always a silly crap people like Crazy Frog and all that stuff. I'll give you a good statistic on my music. This kills me. I get these sales reports from Spotify, right? You know what the most popular song is I've ever written after I did, I've done Clubzilla and all these other things? The stupid heavy metal polka.
Yeah.
Out of all the shit I've ever written, that is a big deal. And everything else I really was serious about and put a lot of work into, But heavy metal polka? Boy,
there's no correlation between anything and the result. The third most popular video I have of all my thousands of videos is a 10-second video of me belching. It's the third most popular video I have. It's me fucking belching.
See?
I've never promoted it. I don't have it tagged as a belt.
Exactly.
It's fucking dropped out there as a joke.
The stupid thing for the world is we're in this situation where we consume things that are a very small time constraints. They're all in small amounts that we consume our media, our videos, or whatever. As a general, I'm not saying everyone does this, I know Craig likes to sit down with a Godzilla DVD every now and then, but as a rule, when we're on Facebook, everything is crammed down into small things. So I know I mentioned this to Craig, and I'm going to say it on air now because it's a thing. The heavy metal polka has that legs because so many people don't listen to the whole tune, don't go, this is a great tune, don't go, you're going to love this tune. They go,
Right.
listen to this death metal polka, they're magic death metal, and they listen to 30 seconds of it, and then it's done. And thousands of people have done the same thing because of that way. The biggest problem with music charts, it doesn't consider humor or fads. It doesn't prioritize creativity. It's just, this number is higher than that number, so you're higher.
Yep.
And that's why Crazy Frog made a statement. The stupid thing about Crazy Frog is the producers of it, in the background, and this was kind of before social media was out there, so it couldn't be picked up. But they were kind of like, look, we can put something stupid in the charts with ease just by making it a ringtone. We're proving that the music industry's fucked in the way it's working at the moment. But the problem is everyone loved the tune and they were like, Crazy Frog's #1, whee! And that background feel from what happened never actually got out there. And it still isn't getting out there because it's been heavily subdued by the mainstream industry by consistently putting Gangnam Style, Crazy Frog, those kind of things out there under the pseudonym of popularity. Now, yes, everyone knew Crazy Frog, everyone knew Gangnam Style. Is that because they sat down and listened to it at home on their stereo? Did they? No, don't try and tell me anyone sat down when they got home after a long day of work and went, really need to listen to Gangnam Style now. Fuck off.
Right.
Nobody did. What happened is, Korea's in the shit over there. Korea's just brought out this track. Look, it's absolutely stupid. Let's all learn a dance.
Right.
And everyone watched 30 seconds of Gangnam Style on repeat to get that dance. One of the biggest things in music videos to make your track massive is to have a dance in it, because people then get it on repeat while they're watching it and going, okay, he does this. Okay. And you also, all of a sudden, instead of one play on a track from someone, you get 50 plays on a track from someone to learn this stupid freaking dance off it.
Right.
But none of that is indicated in music industry. It doesn't exist. It's not out there. All of a sudden, those numbers just go up and people go, everyone loves Gangnam Style.
Yeah.
You know, it's ridiculous.
Well, luckily, I think XRP is pretty much bulletproof from all that kind of crap. You know?
Oh, that's... I think it's only lucky because I know... And this has never been purposeful. But I think subconsciously, I've only ever hired DJs that just ignore the news, TV, the mainstream, whatever.
Yeah.
Like I very rarely see any of the DJs on XRP go, oh, look at this new like Miley Cyrus tune or whatever. They're completely disconnected. Completely disconnected. That may be a good thing or a bad thing, but
yeah, I mean, like I don't listen to the radio at all. I have no idea what's hot or what's, I mean, I like Taylor Swift's a big deal. Great, cool. Do I listen to her? No, I don't listen to nothing. So
that's
weird.
It's one of the positives and negatives to XRP, because even though there's certain things that like, a lot of people like, such as icons of industry, for an instance, they got a bit of a following, strong following. But I don't think XRP, even with the charts, had anything that's hot or not, or cap or no cap or whatever the kids out there say these days. There just seems to be music, and whatever DJ's on is pretty much the reason for whatever music gets delivered to your ears. It's good. In 17 years, I've never heard anyone go, I've got to play this because everyone loves it at the moment.
Yeah, I've always been amazed by the DJs on XRP, because I try to put myself in those shoes, and I'm thinking to myself, there's these, hundreds of submissions and all this stuff in the database, and man, how do you find time to go through all that music, and decide what you want to play on your show, and what really, what do you really want to share with people? I don't even know how you guys do that, You know what?
I won't lie. I'm in a luckier position, and I sometimes feel sorry for Addy, because I do the big submission show.
Yeah.
So I get the biggest glimpse naturally just in my day-to-day life of the music that comes into XRP, and then I can go, I like that. These go into my personal show list that I'll do on a Monday and Wednesday, and everything else, other people can listen to it. So I'm naturally going through that. The rest of our DJs actually have to go into the database, look around, listen to bits, go, this is good, this is bad, talk with the artists and stuff like this. I'm very lucky in my position. I feel bad because I almost wish all of our DJs did a new submission show. I also know it's not fair to turn around to all our DJs and go, oh, by the way, you got to do an extra 3 hours a week voluntarily.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got to be said, like, I'm sometimes a bit impatient with our DJs because I've got a really easy job. I go to a list and I go download all the latest ones, and then I do a show. It's a lot easier than whereas Cass with his pop show or Boom's show. I know Boom's does quite a lot of checking out. And one thing that Booms is great at actually is you tend to check out a lot of other shows to pick up on what seems to be going well on other shows, which is awesome.
I remember there was this one stretch where I would do a show Monday, and you had a show, or Bog had a show on Tuesday or something.
Yeah.
It was funny because he and I were both pulling from the new uploads, which is what we should be doing. So sometimes I would hear him play a new one that I was going to play, or I'll play one that he plays.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it seems like a little bit like pop radio where they play the new hot thing. But if you don't like it, you're not going to play it again. You're not going to, like I made the mistake. I used to make the mistake of deleting a song if it was really bad. And now I keep it and give it 1 star, which almost never happens. But I want to remember it so I don't play it again. But it's crazy how much almost nothing gets that rating in the whole database. It's really rare.
I mentioned this on Monday's show actually, that XRP used to have quite a strong reputation of being very honest in its it's very different to other stations where, like, I don't want to put them down because they do a good thing for independence, but they have this kind of echo chamber within them where a new track gets played and everybody there goes, I love your track, I love your track. I just followed your page. Do you want to follow my page? Do you want to listen to my music? Here's my links, here's this. And it don't feel real. Now, XRP used to be in the fact where, and I know Craig's been there a few times, I know Craig's been of the point where he's messaged me on a couple of occasions going, that was a little bit harsh, wasn't it? Where I've gone, sorry, go back to the drawing board. Like, I see what you're doing. If you want to be a musician, carry on, but that is not good and you need to do it better. Otherwise, you're going to ruin your own reputation, as sure.
You could be constructive and give good production tips. And
Well, the worst thing at the moment is the quality.
About it. When Graham was in my show, it was funny because he would just tear something to shreds, and he had no. And sometimes he was right, but I'm like, there's got to be a way to do it where you can be honest but not be a dick.
Yeah. I mean, constructive stuff is important.
But
definitely.
It always feels more real at XRP than anywhere. It feels more,
now it's really difficult because I find now it's difficult because the quality of the tracks that are coming in, like, I feel like I'm just sitting there going, that was great, and that was great, and that was great, and that's great, and I'm being genuine, but I'm listening to myself and go, I sound so ungenuine just because every track, that was a good track, now it's the next track, that was another good track, now it's the next track. And especially we have a lot of like post-hardcore and rock submissions and punk and stuff, rock band, shall we say. And when we get a lot of that stuff in, we're going to regurgitate the same kind of review. That was tight, that was heavy, that was... And, when you do a 4-hour show or a 3-hour show, by the end of it, you feel like you're just saying the same words to every track because you've ran out of English to use.
Unsigned and being independent doesn't mean what it used to mean. I mean, the production and some of the stuff on this unsigned and independent stuff sounds so polished and so good. Sometimes too much, but usually really great. Really great. Like I have to kind of forget that I'm DJing independent music and sometimes forget I'm not just pulling from the shelves of real dependent bands, I call it.
But my main fear is just saturation now. there's a lot of these situations where it's like hire a studio for your kid, and you get your kid into the studio and they write a song and they get it produced, and it's in a decent studio, so it's produced really well and they're really proud of it, but it was just a birthday present. But they're like, okay, we'll put this on there. This kid, their family, there's no instigation of being an artist or pursuing music as a career. This was a fun birthday present, you know what I mean? And that's just one thing, but then there's a lot of people, you know, there's all these apps. Cat's kid does it. He's bought an app for his tablet and he makes music, and some of it's quite good using loops and stuff. But there's this massive saturation of the market where kind of everyone can give it a go and make it sound kind of good now.
Oh yeah.
And obviously
It
then
almost
there's
reminds me of when they were settling the U.S. before it was the U.S. and they had all these people in their wagons lined up, and they're like, dropped a flag, literally said, run and get whatever land you want and claim it. And everyone just got to run up to a flag and go, this is my 5,000 acres and this is my 1,000 acres. And now everyone can do that. Like, for instance, before I got into video editing, I could never have gotten into video editing if it had stayed video. If it had stayed film, it had to go digital for me to get into it. And it's the same, constantly technology is turning more digital, and people in the old school analog world are losing their jobs. But
weirdly,
you can do things now that you could not afford to do and you couldn't even do.
Well, weirdly, when I went to college and university, I did a production course, and all of the courses that we did were dual digital and analog, because they had to be. They couldn't just train you up in digital because it was still at that point where it wasn't sure whether it was going to succeed. In fact, I bought Logic Pro 7 Platinum. We're now on Logic Pro 11, I think. I bought Logic Pro 11 Platinum I got it bought for me for my 15th birthday. And it was £750.
Yeah.
It's now £80. Logic 11 is now £80.
You remember looking at a CD in the 90s, and on the back it would say ADD or DDD or AAD.
Yeah.
All the stuff I did was AAD for years, and now that's alien. People don't even know what you're talking about. Oh, you had a 1-inch reel-to-reel or whatever, or anything. Everything is digital now, and the same with film. I mean, hardly anyone shoots with film, and the cost of dealing and editing with film as opposed to the cost of like even as a DJ, getting a record out and doing all of this. And being careful of the record and putting it back, and now it's just clicking an MP3 It's crazy.
I mean, I went on to, as you might have noticed, I did a few vinyl shows. These are all unsigned and independent vinyls I've got here. I got them all sent in. Right. I tell you what, like the hassle, like getting the cost of the vinyls, because I bought a few of them, obviously, bands that I liked, you know, vinyls are expensive, so I got a few sent to me for free, to be fair, but I just put them all out there. And then you've got the other side of like bands, so this isn't meant to be a call out, but this was a vinyl from the Glenn Foster group, funnily enough. Falcon.
Nice.
And I can't play it too often because it's on, just to show you, it's on
Wow. That's a pretty thin. That's a pretty thin.
So I know that I can't play that often. I have to be really specific when I play that. I've also got one of those, you know, the old sampler discs that you used to be able to buy on the magazines. You used to pull them out from the middle of the magazines. It was basically a record on cardboard.
Yeah, you had to put a penny on the thing to make it not slide around.
Yeah, so I've got a couple of those and that, and it's a nice thing to have.
That's how you used to get people. That was the original link. Before you could give a link to a video, you would here's this actual plastic paper bendable record of my song.
Yeah.
Before you could give someone a flash.
You know what? The mad thing about that is that was the best, most unpiratable way to get your track out there, because you couldn't re-record it.
It was
even when tape decks came out or whatever, you couldn't then plug it in and then re-record it because you knew you only had a few plays on it. Like, unless you recorded it off the very first play, and even then, the quality was dubious, shall we say, on those paper records.
Yeah, I don't think it was ever meant to be great quality. It was just like just to let you hear the song.
Yeah.
It was almost like it reminded me of it's the musical equivalent of the magazine that has the thing that you tear open to smell the cologne. And you tear open it's like the musical audio equivalent of that. It's not going to be like the real thing.
Yeah, it's wild the way the industry's changed, but it hasn't changed with music. It's changed with administration, which is the worst. So yeah, you get these facts where, you know, record sales are down, but like, how can you really track digital sales? Really, you everyone in the world is trusting iTunes, Amazon, Tidal to deliver
anyway, because like you can listen to a video for 3 seconds and it counts as you watched it.
Yeah, it depends on the platform. Most, I think Spotify is on 30 seconds more.
Right, but like for instance, when I was a kid and I would buy an album, you didn't know how many times I played that album in my house. Like I had Queen, the game, and I friggin' wore that album out. But I was usually only playing like Another One Bites the Dust, and then putting it back to the beginning, Another One Bites the Dust. So you don't know what I'm playing or how many times or anything. And I think it never should have mattered, or no one should ever give a shit how many times you played it. But you see videos on YouTube with billions of views or millions of views.
What's lost mainly is the value in stuff. So like before, there's people out there. Well, I'll buy them now. Like I'll buy a special edition of a certain DVD that comes with like art books, and especially in the anime world, I'm a big Jap anime fan. And when a new anime DVD comes out, typically you can get a collector's edition with the art book and whatever, which comes out and it's lovely. Now, me buying that doesn't mean I'll play that DVD anymore. I want to have this object. I want to have this thing because it's a nice thing, and that used to be what CDs were about. You could have, like, there's people out there that got Christmas albums that are only played once a year at Christmas. But that album still cost £10. It still had a sleeve in. It still looked good. It's still a nice physical object, and it gave that person joy every time they bought it out at Christmas because it was Christmas time, and here's my album. That's gone. That don't exist anymore. That love of creative items, it is now deformed because digital is free. And then these NFTs tried to make digital a physical item and bring the worth back into them. The problem is these NFTs did it in the wrong way because loads of famous people get involved, and that was that monkey NFT that was Jay-Z's NFT. And realistically, you didn't buy the artwork, you bought access to a privatized WhatsApp group where you could go to parties with Jay-Z. So it's like the worth. That's my biggest thing. That's why I created XRP, and that's why I did everything. The worth has gone out of music and creativity, and I want to bring it back because people don't buy an album; they buy a subscription to Spotify. And mentally, outside of the creative world, outside of the musical world, someone that subscribes to Spotify doesn't think, "Oh, I've just purchased every album on the planet." They think they've just subscribed to a software, like they subscribe to Microsoft Word, like they subscribe to Adobe Photoshop, like they subscribe to everything else. So, like Netflix, you subscribe to a software, and all the videos are free, all the films are free. Spotify, you subscribe to a software, and all the music is free. And that's what people think. That's what the mainstream thinks, and that's the scariest thing in the independent music world. The indifference.
Going to the record stores, if I was going to the 10 different record stores in my teenage era to get records, there was about 8 or 10 places that I frequented. If you had asked me to join any of those fucking, whatever that meant back in the 80s and the 90s, if you'd asked me to join or sign something like a book club or whatever the hell you're talking about, I would have been like, no, I'm here to get this record. You're just to do that. I don't care about this actual store. I'm here to get this record. And to think of Spotify as some sort of a well where someone gathers at the well to get all the music they need for this day. They've made Spotify the thing that's important, not the band.
Yeah.
And
That's the integral thing. The worth out of the product that is actually received is nothing now. Everyone is
It's the platform.
searching
It's way to
online.
get it.
Well, it's not even that. You know, you've got the mainstream consumer searching for what's the cheapest way I can get my music. Oh, Spotify is $12.99, but Apple Music is $9.99, so I use Apple Music. Bear in mind, all of us across the world used to be 20 years ago spending £30 or £40 on 3 CDs a month. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now we're consuming about having all the music in the world for a tenner a month, when we used to spend a tenner a week on one album. It's insane. The worth has just gone out of creativity, and it's been pursued.
Not to mention, if you couple the worth going out of creativity with the oversaturation stuff you were talking about earlier, so on one end, every swinging dick is making 10 albums a day in his basement, and on the other end, every swinging dick is listening to everything for free.
Yeah.
It's like, where the hell does anyone fit in anymore? Unless you're just, I never really thought of myself as a spectator or someone absorbing.
Well,
like all the
I think
Netflix
this is the
stuff.
worst part about about creativity as a whole, especially the unsigned independent world, is we seem to be ignorant to this fact. We're not going out there and forming a part of you where we're like, holy shit. We're just sitting there and going, oh, Spotify doesn't pay us right. Instead of going, holy shit, Spotify is what people are buying. People aren't buying my music anymore. We're getting wrapped up in the wrong argument. The ignorance in the independent world is insane, because all our anger is directed at the complete wrong object. Well, the right object, but the wrong reason for the object. Spotify isn't paying us wrong, but Spotify has created an ethic where it's Spotify you buy and not music. All creativity now, all film, all video, all music, everything, artwork, is considered free. Even when you go onto photography sites, and you can now buy a subscription to stock photos rather than buying each photo. You can now buy a subscription to a museum.
There's also this crazy directive that's thrown out there that you need you need Spotify, and you need iTunes, and you need Apple Music, and you need all this to get stuff. That's like a need now, because there isn't a record store in the corner you can go up to or whatever. You need.
Yeah.
I need Spotify.
It's needed in the wrong way, because realistically, when you're starting off, right, it's like sport, right? Say football, and I'll use this equivalent to American and British soccer, but they don't just throw everyone in the Premier League or the big league and just go fight each other. You've got first division, second division, third division. I don't know what the divisions are in the US, but you know, the little league, the junior league, blah, blah, blah. You have different levels. Whereas everyone in the unsigned and independent world are just like, we all need to compete on Spotify against Taylor Swift and Metallica and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. It's never going to work. Never. Why in the musical world is everyone just chucked in at the top? Yet in sports, you start a job, you don't just go straight into being the CEO of a company. You start at the bottom and then you progress to manager, and then you progress, it's in creative world. Somehow the world, probably the big media companies have created this situation where it's like, if you watch a film, it's from Universal, it's from Lionsgate, it's from these big companies, or you don't watch a film. End of. See you later. Bye.
Yeah, it used to have to be earned too, like by going on the road and playing shows and playing dates and getting a following and things like that were earned. And now it could be just either boy band production or just you have nice boobs or whatever. But instantly you're got 10 million hits without you didn't do anything.
Well, you didn't do anything. You had a very good company that's just picked you up at the right time, and they realise that they can manipulate and manage you into something that's sellable, unfortunately.
Which is funny, because that's a lament that the other side is singing. The people that have got out of as if you want to get out of it, but people that have moved into the dependent music and they are signed, then now they have a whole other kettle of fish they have to deal with. That is,
exactly.
Yeah.
Anywho, I've just realised it's 1 minute to the time that I'm meant to finish this show.
Oh, right on.
We had a good chat though. I like that. That was
Yeah,
fun.
it's too bad Craig had to leave, and I think DUI said something and I didn't even see it because I wasn't looking at the chat.
No, it's all right. It's they were talking with us, and Craig's StreamYard crashed, but it's all okay.
Yeah, that was cool.
For those listening, it's been a pleasure to entertain you all for the evening. I am back on Saturday, and Booms is back on Monday with well, he's kind of half back on Monday.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do a pre-recorded show because I have to go to Athens all day.
It's okay. I'll be there beforehand with the Shoof. So yeah, the Shoof will be on. Booms will be back on Monday. There's great shows. And in fact, actually, Thursday and Friday are very quiet, so come back on Saturday and you'll have me, Locked and Loaded, and Vuk set for your afternoon. Bit of a chatty show for us this evening, but it was good because that's the whole point of the hub. Unscripted, unplanned, and with
that.
Boom Smack. For now, I guess we'll play. So if you wanted me to play any Candy Apple Black track right now, what would you play? What would you ask me to play?
First Trip to the Moon, because there's a whole story I was going to tell you where there's a line in the thing that sounds like he says I dropped in, and you're talking about this is the drop-in show, even though he technically says something else.
It's all good. It's been a pleasure in it's been a pleasure to entertain you all for the evening. Like I said, I'm back on Saturday. This is a track by Booms. He is Candy Apple Black, and he is also your Monday night DJ for Pipe Dreams. So if you like him, I don't know, throw bricks at him or something. I don't know. From a distance, though, so they don't hit him too hard. Like they're flowers, like you're throwing rose petals, but it's actually concrete. What the fuck am I saying? Here we go. First Trip to the Moon, Candy Apple Black. Bye! Fucking hell. We're speaking so long, my speaker's auto turned off.
Yeah, I played this song for my sister, and for 3 weeks she was singing I Dropped In. That's like not what he says. This is kind of disco.
It reminds me of something, but I can't think what it is. Alright then. Where are you? I've dropped. It does sound like I've dropped in.
Right.
What does he actually say?
I dropped it. The future is in my hands, and I dropped it.
Oh, what was the thing in Passing Glance that we never got to the end of?
Dude, there was like 9 things that I wanted to say, but I didn't want to interrupt y'all. And one of them was during that time when you said I had this good short-term memory to remember everything.
Yeah.
The reason my memory was so in them because I was waiting for a time to get in, and I never could. So I was really listening. But when you talk about, there was something you were talking about things that can happen, like a silly song about a frog or whatever, that can or a belch, or some silly song that gets all this attention. And I think that's what Andy was going for when he was talking about, when he was writing Passing Glance, because there was a line in Passing Glance that I think people would remember, but you wouldn't go, oh, that's so great. You'd say, oh, dude, listen to this. Because it sounded like a clam in a peanut butter sandwich. It was just like, but the line was really clever, but we thought it was too harsh for the song. And I wonder if Passing Glance, how Passing Glance would have been received if we had left the original line in there. I've often wondered, but everyone thinks it was a good move, even Andy.
It's a hard track. It's definitely decent. The only thing that like the repeated thing is what whether it's and when we kissed, she just dismissed it at last, or
Right.
when we kissed, she just missed it at last,
It
or
sounds
something
it's
like that.
saying
That was like
different
4.
things.
Yeah. And I asked you, and then you never told us. We don't know. Nobody knows what he
I
says.
thought I put the graphics up on the screen because in the video, the live video of us recording it, it's got the lyrics on the screen.
Oh, I must have missed that.
It has the original version. When we kissed, my dick didn't fit in my pants.
Oh, is that what it used to say?
Yeah, when we kissed, my dick didn't fit in my pants. That was the original line, and we're like, dude, you can't say that. So he changed it to when we kissed, just dismissed it at IT apostrophe B. She just dismissed it at last, which I thought was great. But
Yeah,
he,
so,
he
like-
explained that in the documentary and everything. I thought you may have seen it, but I often wonder if we had left it there.
All right, hold tight, sorry. For all those on the video stream, it's been a pleasure to entertain you. We'll see you all on Saturday, I hope. Goodbye.